Hey, you all, good afternoon. Happy Veterans Day to all you folks who served your country as a veteran. Now today, you all, we're going to start this build on this bow right here. It's only been a couple of days. With hickory, you really do not have to let hickory completely dry before you start using. I'm getting this draw knife really good and sharp. That's one of the things that you really want to do before you even start on this stuff, is go ahead and get your tools really sharp. And what we're going to do here first, you all, is we're going to take off just a little bit of the cambium layer. We're going to expose this right here till everything is nice and white, so that when we lay it out, see how I'm using the back of the draw knife to do that? Just come right on down it. Now, of course, this is a short one. We're not really tiring a ring when we do that right there, you all. We're simply taking the rest of the cambium layer off of that bow. And that's pretty dry right there right now. It's only been a couple of days. Remember, this is the back of the bow you're working on. Had that little bit of chatter there. So I've got a small scraper that's made from a planer blade. This will allow us to see the marks that we're going to put on here. That's simply a planer blade, you all, that I'm using as a scraper. Just put you a good sharp 90 on it. You don't have to worry about going out here and purchasing that kind of stuff right there, unless you don't have one. Take the burrs off the edges there just a little bit. After that, I'll take a little bit of sandpaper. Like I said, this is the back of the bow. I'm hoping that's going to come out. I'm going to move you all in just a little bit closer so that you can see how I lay this out. Now remember, I'm filming this, you all, with a Hero on wide angle. So some of the things that you see over here on the side are going to look crooked, okay? Even if they're straight. Like if I hold this straight edge up, which we're going to have to use on a Hero camera in wide angle, which is the way I like to shoot it, the stuff is going to look a little crooked, okay? So that's no big deal. So let me get it set up here, and I'll show you how to lay it out. All right, you all. I'm not going to square the edges up on this like some people do. Now, you know that you can buy these blanks already squared up, okay? But when you knock it out of a tree, just like I did and showed you how to do that, I'm going to show you another way to find the center of this piece of wood through here. And it's pretty simple. That's 2 inches. So what we want to do is get down there on 1 inch and make us a mark. All right. Put you a pencil mark right there on that end. Make sure that's, well, it looks like a little bit more than that, Mike. So we'll move that mark over to right there. So find the center of it on this end. We'll find the center of it on this end. A little bit of eyeball in there, you all. Looks really good and close. Once you do that, you can get you a straight edge. This one comes in inches or millimeters for you people who like to use millimeters. And what I'm going to do right there is I'm going to take something and tie this down on this end right here, you all. Because that is not flat across the top, across the back. And so that it don't move, I'm just going to take this C-clamp if I get over there under the wood, I'm going to take it and do it. Get it where you want it. Alright. Come back over here, hold it straight on this end. You could use a chalk line to do that if you want to, but eventually the chalk line is going to come off and you're not going to be able to see it. You can see there where I jumped off in the grain, it jumped off on me right there, okay? So you're going to get rid of that mark. Scribble it out. Alright, now next thing we're going to do, you all, after we draw that line, is we know we got 40 inches right there. So we'll come up here to 20. We'll put us a mark right there, 20 inches. That's the center of this bow stab, right? Put us a mark right there. Now, since this is a kid's bow, we're gonna go 3 inches from the center this way. 1, 2, 3. Right? And we're going to go 3 inches this way. 1, 2, 3. So there, that will be the handle of your bow, right there. All right. Go ahead and make sure that you measure to see if that sort of come out 17. So that's close. So now what do we do now? All right, come up here to the end. Let's start on this end. What we want to end up with, you all, is a 1/2 inch on the tip of this bow right here. So we'll come 1/4 off of this side. I really can't see that really good here down here tonight, you all, so I'm going to use the tape measure to do it. Actually, we're going to use quarter. Quarter makes us a 1/2 inch on the end. That's the end of our bow. We'll come up here to this end, we'll do the same thing. I didn't get that cleaned up really good right there, you all. For the to see the marks, and we need to see the marks. You see right there's a little bit of flat paint I put on that thing to seal that up. Very important to get it centered up across that bow stave, you all. My mark. Okay, so using that one. So here's a quarter. And then from there over, here's the other quarter. Go from the very tip end of your bow on that outside 1/4 inch mark back here to this 3 inch mark. Hold that down. Put your mark down through there. Do the same thing on this end. So there's that end of our bow, you all, and all that crookedness. Of course, we just do the same thing on this end. Hope that's not too dark, you all. Okay, see, here's the tip end of your bow in the center of your staff. You made your line from off of your handle. You brought it from there up to the center, there up, the same way down here. And this thing's got a little bit of a crook in it. We'll see if we can work that out. Now, you all, you're gonna need a rasp for this project. You're gonna need your draw knife, and I also use a spoke shave. This is one of the slickest and quickest ways to remove wood off of these bows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this around so that I can see the line right here on this edge. Probably should turn you guys. All right, you all, you can remove this stock if you've got a bandsaw. Now, I do have a bandsaw, but I'm not going to bandsaw this one off. You can remove this stock with a bandsaw. I've seen a professional by the name of Clay Hayes. If you haven't watched Clay Hayes make bows, you need to go to his channel, because he's one of the fellows who won the Alone show, one of those Alone events. He had his own bow that he made. He killed a deer with it, and he survived, and he won the Alone show. So he took an electric planer and simply planed that off. But we're going to do it by hand. And a spoke shave is a whole lot better than a draw knife. We're simply going to take this right down to the line, and it don't take no time to do it. When wagon makers made the spokes for old wooden wheels, right there is the way they done it. It's still got quite a bit of moisture in it, you all. Let me take that down to that line right there. See, that's all the way down now, okay? So now we can turn around. We can do the same thing this direction. Tighten it up tight enough, Mike. Like I say, I can do that with a drawing knife, but this does a whole lot better job of it. And I'm seeing a lot of ugly in this, you all. I'm seeing a lot of ugly in this piece of wood that you just can't see before. Almost all the way down. So that's down, you all. All right, one more end, you all. Like I say, I can take this spoke shave and without all that jumping and chattering and ripping and a tearing, I can peel them limbs down to the line flat. Almost down to the line. We're down to the line right there. Down to the line right there. Go ahead and square that up right across the handle while you're at it. All right, you all, there's the back of the bow. All right. Next thing we want to do is we're going to lay off how thick the limbs of this bow is going to be. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to head and draw these lines that we had on here. These two longer ones. Let's go ahead and, well, without breaking your pencil. Since we're not working with something that's perfectly squared, you all, down here, put that line on there. Do it the same way on this side. Now what we'll do is we're going to make this bow to start with 3/8 of an inch. The limbs, okay? So start up here at this end, because this is where we're going. Make your line all the way down to that outside line. And then we will taper that into that. Do the same thing on this end. The rest of it we're going to do, you all, with the rasp, okay? It gets right down to the nitty-gritty real quick. we're going to take that and scrape of that. Bring that down to the line. See how that thing's already got some flex in it, you all? Look at the spring that thing's already got in it. Now, believe it or not, for a little guy, that's going to be a pretty handy little bow. Now this bow right here is not going to have a shelf on it to shoot the arrow off of. This is just going to be a right off of your hand bow, okay? I see some ugly in this bow, you all. I hope that ugly ain't. I hope that ugly don't make this a worthless little bow right here. Yep, I see some ugly in it. So anyway, anybody knows you all that moisture in the air plays a big part in how your bow is going to perform. So you definitely, you all, when you make your bow, you're definitely going to want to seal it with something. Now I will probably seal this one with spray-on poly. I like spray-on poly. After it's good and dry, I'll put the spray-on poly on it. And that will seal that bow up to where moisture can't go in it, okay? Now the handle, I'm going to take it down to where it fits. Teenager, okay? Some of these bows, when you draw them, especially these shorter bows, you're going to want that handle to flex just a little bit, okay? Because when you pull that bow to full draw, them limbs, they're very powerful, and it might break if that handle doesn't flex just a little bit, okay? And that's just the way they're made, believe it or not. Yeah. It's going to have a right smart of wood taken right out of the belly of it right there, you all, to get that to flex good. But I believe that's going to be well, I know it's going to be a powerful little bow. There's no question about that. So now you all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to head and let this thing dry on out before I do anything else to it, okay? From there, after it's dry, I will bring you back. We will trim it down. We will put the nocks in it. Finish up the handhold on it. It's still just a little bit wider than what I like. And we'll go from there. And we'll get us an arrow out and we'll see if we can shoot this kid's bow. So you all, do you still think you can take, like the natives did? Do you still think you can take you some flint stones, pieces of chert, rocks, and make you a bow that you can shoot? I will say this, if you've got a piece that's already dry, and you've got time, in 1 day's time, and I mean less than a day, you all, less than 8 hours, you can be shooting a bow if you know what you're doing. But make sure that you draw that thing out on that piece of wood so that you do know what's going on, okay?
All right, you all. You see what I done right there with that bow? It's just naturally going to start curving on you when you carve out, your belly. It's just naturally going to curve. So since this piece is still damp, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it down right there on a straight edge. Just like that right there on the end in the center. And that way it will be clamped down and it will dry straight. Because they will warp really bad on you if you're not careful.
All right, you all. God bless you. Hope you have yourself a wonderful weekend. And like I said, for you people who served your country, may the good Lord bless you.